Welcome to the Blueprint Podcast. Come explore the roadmap of our shifting consciousness where self-actualization, exposing your talents and gifts is the norm. Now here's your host, Angela Blaha.
Everyone, welcome to the Blueprint Podcast. Hope you're having the most amazing day ever. All right, so today we would love to talk to you about false realities. I know, I don't like how they're called that either. So it seems terrible to even think about, right? A false reality, and isn't this supposed to be the reality? Like, aren't we creating a reality here? Maybe, maybe not. This shift in consciousness from 3D to 13D, and yes, we are moving into 13D frequencies because 1 through 12D have been experienced here, and all of them have some sort or form of corruption, control, manipulation, distorted components of some kind in them. Evidence of that is our past history of humankind, Atlantis, Lemuria, the dinosaur age, like all those things. They all were some sort of dimension, and they all have some sort of corruption to them because of duality and the belief in duality here. So we are not, I repeat, not moving to 5D. No, we are not. That is a distorted dimension of safety, and I think that we think we're moving into that dimension because we really are feeling, maybe when we're shifting consciousness, that we're not really that safe. And 5D is a very distorted dimension of safety, thinking that we are safe, moving into a fifth dimensional frequency. The bigger question here is, if we are still believing that you have to feel safe, that might be the clue that you are still playing a role or attached in some way to that false belief or that false reality of safety, having the need to feel safe. This will be the greatest task for mankind for the next several years, is to truly shift. Truly shift out of these belief systems, to discover and transform where you are still connected to these beliefs or these false dimensions or distorted dimensions, because we don't like to look at ourselves, right? This is where we will have the most resistance moving forward into 2024. This is, the disconnection that has to take place in order for the shift in consciousness to actually happen. And as humans, we really want to believe in something, and we put meaning to absolutely everything. And so without that, we have a real fear about who we are. That's why we think we're moving into this 5D frequency of safety, where it really is not as safe as we believe it is. It might be a little bit safer than 3D. I mean, if you have to have that, then move to 5D. But for those of you who are open to something else, I invite you into 13D. Now, most people will want to hang on, right, to what they do believe in, or what they have believed in, or what their ancestors have believed in. That is what starts wars, holding on to old patterns, old beliefs, old emotions, old thoughts. And New Earth is asking you literally to drop your hold. So the next several years will greatly be affected by this holding pattern that humans have ingrained in them, and if humans will be willing to give it up. Now, we have Pluto coming in, of course, in 2024. That's going to help us look at the destruction of those old patterns, those old beliefs, so that we literally can move into creation And that's what Pluto is a destroyer and a creator all at the same time. Because when you drop something, you have to move into a creation component or move into a different kind of action or a pattern, because that's how the duality works. And with that, sometimes we need cosmic energies to help us. So maybe the big picture is, or the big question is, how do we shift with the least amount of internal and external friction? Well, the first thing is a mindset. So is your mind immersed in the holding on to things, or is it a growth mindset? The difference between them is if you have a holding on kind of a mindset, you're always believing in healing, you're always believing in repeating trauma, and those are actually that's the pattern that you kind of get stuck into, no matter what kind of trauma it is. I mean, trauma can be, anything. Trauma can actually be anything. So always in a doing mode or searching for someone else to give you the answers, those are holding on kinds of mindsets that are not growing, mindsets that just repeat. If you move into a growth mindset, that is a mindset that's always asking what's next. Growth mindsets go inward for direction, for intuitive information, for source guidance kind of information and answers, to the questions, the big giant questions that they have, and taking action steps. I didn't say doing steps, I said action steps to create literally something new. Like they are in this spiral versus a circle. So the second thing is, what is action versus doing? I said it. We're not taking doing steps, we're taking action steps. If you are stuck in a holding kind of a mindset, you are doing. You're constantly doing, but you're doing the same thing over and over and over. It's a repetitive motion, repetitive pattern. So doing is being literally on automatic pilot. That's probably the best way. Just like a robot would be, like a robot that gets stuck and doesn't have any new code to answer to or to actually move into. Repeating the same old patterns, that stuck feeling that we get, that tells you that you're in a doing pattern, that you are kind of stuck in that holding mindset. Action is a creation component. Creation requires a new action to create something new. Now, as human beings, we don't really like to take new action steps because we have this fear of not being safe. So in order for action steps to actually work, you have to be clear on what you want to create in your life. As I said before, once we drop a belief system, what's next? Do we not have any belief systems? That could be an option. It's actually a really good option. But what's next? Like what do you fill in with that, or what do you create to fulfill that kind of frequency or vibration that you're moving into? Clarity, step 3, is to be very clear. And clarity comes when you know who you are and your mission here. And that becomes your focus. 13th dimensional frequency is very focused energy. Very focused energy. So if you step into 13D, and I invite you to do so, then clarity is not work. It becomes like who you are. Like you're very, very clear. You're very purposeful. You're very mission driven. You're energetically charged, and you are very laser focused, like really, really laser focused. This is your most natural, authentic state where the soul, your energy, your frequency actually becomes the leader. It leads the way. Your intuitive knowledge and wisdom becomes your natural state. This is like literally the place that we have been dreaming for eons, probably. We've been, this is the place of that we all have known that we're shifting into internally, someplace deep inside of us. We've all known that we're shifting into this. And how do we do it was really the question. But we don't really need a question. These are the 3 simple steps. I mean, literally. So stepping into this new way of being is very, very simple because it's very focused. We're leaving all the chaos of the belief systems, of the domination, control, all the false, distorted energies behind us. I mean, we're dropping them. We're not leaving them behind us. Well, we can leave them behind us, but we're literally dropping that energy and we're creating a new one. So being in a growth mindset, take action steps and ask if you are playing out a false belief or if you are in creation, and be very clear about who you are. 3 very simple steps. If you're having problems with that, I am creating some courses around it and some support around that. So please reach out, and you can find most of my information on my website at www.angelablaha.com. And I'm on all the social platforms. So don't stay stuck. Don't stay stuck. Until next week, have the most amazing, explorative, and expansive days that you can possibly have.
Thank you for being with us today. To find out more about Angela, visit her website at www.angelablaha.com.